Yo, what's going on, guys? Matthew B. Haynes here, aka The Clockmaster. I'm here with my wife,
Shannon, aka Cosmic Banks.
We just got back from seeing Eternals. So we got some things to say about this movie. But there's gonna be spoiler free. We are gonna be doing a spoiler review or discussion or whatever after. So just keep that in mind. I will preface this for me. So I've read some of the the comic books. You can't help it, but yeah, I've read the comic books. She hasn't. I personally think you will enjoy this movie more if you read some source material, or you go and read a Wikia page or something like that. At least understand some of the main characters and kind of like how they operate and what the whole Eternal thing's about. But I do feel like the movie does a pretty good job at explaining that. So, but we'll get more into that. But she hasn't seen the movie, so
I have seen the movie.
I mean, oh my god. This is gonna be unedited. Yeah, this is gonna be unedited. Sorry, like my brain is in shambles. She hasn't read the comics, is what I meant to say. My fault. Okay. All right, let's just get ready. I'm gonna have you start. What were your thoughts on the movie? Do you think that the majority of the critics were right?
Well, first things first. I enjoyed the movie. Like, I didn't think I need like the comic knowledge to like understand the movie. Like, I know, like Matthew said, that there's like you have a better enjoyment, I guess, or appreciate it more if you do read the comics. But I mean, I understood it fine. I don't agree with the critics. I like really enjoyed it. It was more than just like what they were saying. Like, didn't like feel like a Marvel movie, and like I don't know. I felt like it felt like a Marvel movie, but it was a different type of Marvel movie.
I'll disagree with you on that.
No.
I mean, yes, I'll disagree. Why? But I'll let you finish your thoughts though before I.
Oh no, I'm curious. Why don't you?
Oh no, I disagree. This does not feel like a Marvel movie, and I think that's a good thing. This feels like a Chloe Zhao movie, and that's a good thing, because I have a lot to say about that, but I didn't want to. I didn't want to really interrupt you.
Well, I'm saying it feels like a Marvel movie in the sense of the camaraderie.
Okay.
Like, they have a very, like, unique bond. Like, it does give me, like... It reminds me of the Avengers in a way, but a more, like, celestial kind of way. So that's how I feel in that sense.
See what you did with the celestial?
Yeah. But, yeah, so I do feel like it felt like it in that sense. But, like, I see what you mean when you, like, it doesn't feel like a Marvel movie. But we'll get more into it in like the spoiler review.
Most of this. So let me just break it down real quick to the main things that you guys are here for, because I don't want to make this video too long. I don't agree with the critics. I do feel like this movie was enjoyable. It was enjoyable, but then again, it really all depends on you. I don't think the movie was perfect. I do think it was great, if that makes sense. It's not my. It's not my favorite Marvel movie in terms of comparing it to the other films that came out, but it's my favorite Marvel movie right now when it comes to the heart of it.
Yeah.
That's what I feel is the shining light of this movie, and what Chloe Zhao did well was...
You can really tell how much she put into it.
Yeah, she put into it, and I feel like the characters, in my opinion... Then again, I do have some comic book knowledge of how they operate, so I was able to fill in some blanks. But I feel like the characters were very oddly and weirdly relatable, but also very deep and very explored in a sense. I feel like they have a lot of layers to them.
I agree.
And you really get to see them on a ground level, really experience some hard stuff and like go through some really hard decisions and make some really hard decisions. And compared to this movie, we haven't had a Marvel movie so far that has gone to these depths, I think, on a character level and exploring certain themes. And again, I don't want to get too much into that, but just exploring certain things. And I feel like that's one of the things that Chloe Zhao does well is character exploration and intimacy, and really, because there was a lot of on-screen chemistry, man. Like, some people had some serious on-screen chemistry, and I loved it.
Yeah.
So for those reasons, if you're a person that doesn't like those things, and if you haven't seen any of Chloe Zhao's of her movies, I feel like you also may not like it. But if you're like looking for like, you know, an action flick to go and you know, like, hey, Spider-Man No Way Home's coming out, and, you know, and there's lots of fighting and lots of, you know, over the top comedy. No, you wouldn't like it. I think that this is a more serious. That's one thing I will agree with everyone that when they say this is a more serious movie in the MCU. And I feel like that's good because it explores some very deep stuff that I loved.
And I feel like that's needed with these characters in particular because we don't know anything about them in terms of the MCU.
Yes.
They're new, obviously, like when they introduced Shang-Chi, like it was more like action, but you got his backstory. This is a lot of characters.
It's a lot. The movie's a lot, y'all.
So
it's long too. It's pretty long.
Yeah, but you're still introducing all of these new characters, so you need that depth. You need to explore that. Like, I can't like say too much, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. I look. I can see why some people may not like it, but I don't think it deserved that 54, bro. Honestly, that 54%, bro, I don't think it deserved all that, dog. Like, I feel like that's just a little too much, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I said this in my initial, like, our out of theater reaction. Like, I'm known for being, you know, an oddball and the king of unpopular opinions. Yeah, guys, the camera just cut out, so we're gonna continue our train of thought. But yeah, as I was saying, I feel like I'm known for being like unpopular in terms of opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like take my opinion with a grain of salt, I guess, because I liked it. So
I mean, I tend to agree with you on a lot of that stuff. So I guess that makes me an oddball too.
Yeah, I guess that, I don't know, bruh. Like like we were talking a little bit in the car, like I feel like I can be objective. You know, like if I was watching this movie as someone who didn't know anything about the Eternals and I wasn't really like a Marvel fan, but I was just like a critic that just watched anything and everything, and I was being overly critical, I might see why this could be not as good. But like honestly, y'all, I don't think it deserves a 54. Like,
yeah,
I feel like a 70.
Yeah,
would have made more sense.
Because even the cinematography alone,
it was beautiful, dog. It was beautiful. Like the way how it was shot, everything was different about this movie, and in a good way. I feel like it added. It, like I said, it doesn't feel like a Marvel movie because it felt like it wasn't a Marvel movie. You know what I'm saying? It felt like a Marvel movie that wasn't made in the MCU, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's adding like some kind of realness.
Yeah.
That like obviously it's not like real because it's, you know, Eternals and Celestials and that kind of thing. It's still an MCU, but
like, do you know what I mean though? Like, you know, like when I don't think this is a bad thing, but do you know like what like X-Men, right? Mm-hmm. It wasn't part of the MCU. MCU didn't really exist, so they had their own universe, and they're still a Marvel movie, but it's not an MCU movie.
Yeah.
And how
so it felt like a Marvel movie.
Felt like a Marvel movie that wasn't an MCU movie. Now that might be a pro and a con. Because I just feel like Chloe, her directing style is so vastly different than everyone else than like the Russo bros or like what's his name? I keep forgetting the dude who did Spider-Man, man, and Doctor Strange and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. So like, you know, Jon Favreau with like Iron Man. Like it was so her style is just so different. And I feel like it was great because I feel like this is the best shot MCU movie, I think, in terms of the way how everything was filmed, the natural lighting, and it just felt really good. It felt refreshing. It didn't feel like I was watching the same type of movie with the same type of outcome, with the same type of, you know, things that kept happening over and over and over again. It just felt refreshing, and each one of the characters I feel had something really different and unique about them. Angelina Jolie's character, Athena, who's also one of my favorites in the comic books as well. She was like, well, this might be a spoiler, so I ain't gonna say it, but like the stuff that she was dealing with some things that I felt was really deep, like really deep.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, no, feel free to pitch in. I'm just trying
all the characters, you know, had their own thing going on. So, I mean, it did bring that realness to the characters as a whole.
Yeah.
and you can like feel like their connections to each other, and obviously you can feel that like so this person's more connected to this person, and you know, just like you feed off of their energy almost.
And there were some things that from the comic books that they added into the movie that I really loved, and like overall, like the audience, they seem to really enjoy it too.
Yeah.
Like the audience really like there was like times when there was like some comedy that really hit, and the audience was laughing.
I know this was actually like a pleasant experience with the audience. Like,
Yeah.
you know, a lot of the times we be going to the movies and like people are just loud and annoying for no reason, but like everyone is just like pretty like chill.
Look, there's a pro and a con to go into like press screeners with critics. So I had that experience with Dune when I went to go see Dune early. The only people that were in the theater were other critics and other like, you know, journalists and reviewers and YouTubers and stuff. So they were like different, just critics, right? In the theater. So it was dead silence. Like there was not a single interruption, not a crying baby, not three friends in the back chatting about this, not somebody trying to kiss their girlfriend. It wasn't anything like that. It was just like silence and people just taking in the movie. And when it was done, everyone left. That was it. So there's a kind of pro and con to that. When you go to a Marvel movie, it feels good as someone in the crowd to like build, you know, go off the energy that everyone has in the theater.
I feel like for big Marvel movies, I wouldn't want to do press screenings.
Yeah, I feel that.
Just because I always go back to Endgame with that, just seeing that in the theater, because that was like almost like a magical moment.
It was. It really was. It really was.
So
there's two moments in my movie going history that I will never forget. Endgame and Dune. Because Dune, I got to experience it on a really gigantic screen, and I've never done that before. And it was such an amazing experience with the sound and everything like that. And then also Endgame with, just like you said, like with the crowd and everything. So to keep back on track, I'm just looking at the time. I don't want to. We're already a little over, but because we can talk about this in like spoiler discussions too. Do you think this movie has rewatchability? I feel like that's the real question. Do you feel like this is a movie that when people are doing their MCU rewatch, are they going to watch this movie or are they going to skip it?
I feel like I would rewatch it, but I could see why people could possibly skip it.
Yeah.
Because I mean, as of right now, people are still trying to figure out what it's adding to the MCU.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah. That's what I really wanted to get to. So for MCU fans, let's just keep it real. There's so many people who are not into the comic books. So many people who don't, you know.
I feel like a majority of people that watch the MCU.
Yeah, they're not. They don't read the comic books. They don't know anything from the source materials. So it really boils down to them. What does this mean for just a casual movie fan or a casual MCU fan that has been watching this movie since 2008? What does this add?
Yeah, you know, obviously they're like leading up to other stuff.
Yeah, I mean, the Celestials is a freaking big deal. Like, y'all don't realize, for those who don't realize, the Celestials is such a big deal in the MCU. Y'all don't realize how big of a deal this is, which is what has me excited, just because of as a comic book fan. But like you said, people who don't read the comic books, they're like, Celestials, what the heck is the Celestials? What they got to do with anything? What they gonna like? What is all this?
Me,
like,
basically.
Yeah. So you know, so I that's the reason why I asked the question, just because like I feel until people understand what this means, and I feel like that won't really get explained until, because Eternals will return.
Yes, that's what they said at the end of the movie.
So might be a spoiler, but light spoiler, tap on the back spoiler. But yeah, no. What does this mean for the fans and for the MCU? So I feel like that's where people are at right now.
Yeah, I definitely feel like, because even with Shang-Chi, they're still trying to figure that out. Like, obviously we have a direct connection, but with Eternals, there's not really a direct connection yet. Yeah.
They're now trying to reestablish. Look, bro, this MCU phase is gonna be crazy with the multiverse and the TVA and the Celestials now. Dog. it's gonna be
This is going to tear everything apart.
yeah, this is a game changer. There's something that happened in the movie that was a direct nod to Jack Kirby's Eternals, which I won't get into. I'll talk about it in the spoiler section, which I'll explain to you. But I was geeking out so bad because I was like, yes, they're doing it. They're doing it.
Yeah, there was many moments in the movie where he was just geeking out.
Yeah, you can ask her. I was just like,
And I'm like, I don't know what's going on, but okay.
Yeah, man. This was a treat, I feel, for they made some changes to the Eternals, some things that I didn't like, but I accepted it just because, like, you know, they're trying to find a way to insert these massive characters.
I mean, they always change stuff, like
do.
in the MCU anyway.
They do. But they changed something very serious about, you know what I'm talking about? Something major about a certain character that they changed, which I was like,
Yeah.
ooh,
We had
okay.
a light discussion about that in the car.
Yeah. But it didn't really take away from anything because I understood why they did it. So, y'all always do this to Feige, bro. Feige been doing this jump for like how long? Watch in 10 years when y'all come back to this, y'all gonna be like, Feige just gonna be like,
Yeah, seriously. And remember that thing that happened in Eternal?
no, this is gonna be Feige. Where did that lead you? Back to me. I'm telling y'all, bro. Trust. It's gonna
No,
be great.
there's always a plan, man.
I think it's a plan, bro.
Like literally, like with Shang-Chi too, with Trevor showing back up.
Yeah.
Like even stuff like that, like just stupid little things. But
Yeah.
even stuff that is mentioned one time is gonna be brought up in like you said in 10 years.
Yeah. Was Feige, where did that lead you? Back to me. I'm telling y'all. But yeah.
Everything is like specifically calculated.
Yeah, man.
They know what they're doing, man.
They do. I trust the guy. Look, bro, it's not gonna be for everybody. I'll tell you that right now. It's not gonna
No,
be for
it's not
everybody.
for
It's not everybody's gonna like this movie, and I understand why. I'm not even gonna be up in arms. The thing that just really really bothers me. Look, bro, the critics have the right to say what they gotta say, but I just feel like some of them were being a little bit just being a little bit too much on this movie. Like it didn't warrant all that. Like half of the stuff they were saying it doesn't even equate to what happened in the, like no. What was that going on about? If you were to read some of these reviews, Shannon, you'd be like,
I feel
what?
like we need to in the spoiler section.
Yeah, I'm like, what are you talking about? What are you even on about? Like, this movie was nothing like that. But you know, that's just one man's opinion, bro. That's just one dude's opinion. So, I'm gonna just keep it here because we just keep ranting. So, what would you give the movie out of 10?
I'd probably give it like an 8.
8. I'm at a 7. Personally. I'm at a 7. Just because this movie, like I said, you really have to sit down and like really just listen to everything and take it all in. If you're not energized, you will sleep in this movie.
There are a lot of slower moments.
There are a lot of pacing issues, I will say.
Yeah.
So pacing wise, there are some pacing problems for sure. So definitely don't watch this when you're tired. Like I said, this is not the most perfect MCU movie. Okay, it'll be in my top 10, but like I don't think it's as of right now. But I don't think it's not the most perfect one, but it's not that bad. It's not as bad as the reviews are making it out to say. That's really what I'm just trying to say. Like I give it on a percentage scale. What would you give it out of 100?
Maybe around like 75.
Yeah.
I'd say.
Okay. I'm like around a 75 too, personally. I'm at a B minus C plus.
Yeah, I only say that like you said because of the pacing.
I liked it more than Captain Marvel.
I only saw it once. So
I don't hate
can't
Captain Marvel, but I liked it a lot more than Captain Marvel. And it's definitely better than Thor: The Dark World. I don't know what they tripping giving Thor: The Dark World 60% and give this movie a 54.
Yeah.
Get the freak out of here.
That's
dog.
what's confusing me.
Take the seat all the way to the back, bro. Take it all the way to the back. Take like 10 seats back. It was not. Thor: Dark World is not better than this movie. I'll tell you that right now. But that's just my opinion. But anyways, yeah, this video is probably like 20 minutes. I said I didn't want it to be 20 minutes, and look
Look where that
where that led you. Back to me. Anyways, guys, yeah, go to the. I would recommend watching it, just forming your own opinion on the movie. If you watch it and you don't like it, then fine. But I would say at least give it a chance. Just don't shut it down just because of what people are saying.
Yeah, be mindful of what we are saying about it.
Yeah.
Or what like other reviewers might be saying, and take that to form your own opinion, because I know we didn't let that affect our
Hell no.
opinion of it. We just
What
went with
everything they
know.
said did not affect me one bit, bro. I loved this movie. Would I have preferred things to be a little different with certain things? Absolutely, yes. But overall, I enjoyed the movie. Look, bro, I could take a slow burn. I could watch the extended edition of Lord of the Rings, not even get tired home. Like, shoo, bro, I could sit down through any 4-hour cut. If I could sit, like, don't even get me started, bro. Don't even get me started, bro. Most people can't even make it through Nomadland, being realistic. Nomadland is a very slow. So her signature style was all over this movie.
Mm-hmm.
It was very slow, but it was very intimate. I feel like that's what she does. It was a very intimate movie. So, Nomadland. So if that's not your taste, that's not your cup of tea, then you're not gonna like this.
like there is still action and
Yeah, oh, yeah.
great action.
Really great action.
Yeah.
Really good action. Really good action. Freaking Macari. Man. All right, look. That's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to check out Shannon's channel down below. Go watch the movie for yourself, form your own opinion, please, ladies and gentlemen. And then if you watch it and you still don't like it, that's cool. If you watch it and you loved it, perfect. Just form your own opinion. That's all I ask. Don't go off of me. Don't go off of everybody else. This is just our thoughts. We're documenting it on film so you guys can see and share the experience with us. But at the end of the day, it's really all about you and yours. So, yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Clockmaster and
Cosmic Banks.
out.